My name is Alina, and at 31, I finally learned that family loyalty can sometimes be a trap. The night my brother Leo announced he and his wife, Clara, were expecting their 5th child, the room erupted in cheers. My mother Martha cried, tears of pure joy, and my father Thomas clapped Leo on the back. I stood in the corner holding a paper plate, feeling a cold dread wash over me. In my family, a new baby wasn't just a blessing. It was an upcoming shift of unpaid labor assigned directly to me. My mother turned toward me, a sweet, calculated smile on her face, and said, "Alina will manage the older kids during the DOT transition." It wasn't a DOT request or a conversation. It was a direct command, disguised as family duty. I set my plate down and said, "No, I won't." The silence that followed was heavy enough to cut with a knife. My sister Nella Clara broke it with a sharp, mocking laugh. "You don't have a husband or a family of your own, Alina. Consider this your training for real life." That was the exact moment. Something inside me stopped bending. I didn't yell or argue. I grabbed my keys, walked past their stunned faces, and left. The next morning, my phone buzzed with an unknown number. "Miss Alina, this is Officer Vance from the Northside District." My heart stopped. He informed me that 3 young children had been left at a municipal center with a typed letter claiming I had accepted full legal custody for the week. My family hadn't just assumed I would cave, they had legally trapped me. To understand why that call felt like an absolute declaration of war, you have to know my family's history. Leo and Clara already had 4 children, 8-year-old Mia, 6-year-old Lucas, 4-year-old Chloe, and a toddler. I loved them deeply, but that love had been weaponized against me for years, turning my personal boundaries into an ongoing family emergency. When Mia had a severe fever during my final college exam week, Martha called me heartless for refusing to skip my test to watch her. When Lucas's daycare closed, unexpectedly, Leo dropped him at my apartment without notice, saying, "You work from home anyway. It's not real work." Every single boundary I tried to set was treated as an aggressive attack on their happiness. If I helped, it was expected. If I refused, I was the villain. So when Leo announced baby number 5, my instincts screamed at me to run. On my drive home that night, the guilt-tripping texts flooded my phone. My mother wrote, "Don't humiliate us." Leo text, "Clara is crying because of your selfishness." I turned my phone face down on the passenger seat and refused to answer. The next morning, before the police call, I met my closest friend, Ethan, at a quiet cafe, downtown. Ethan was the only person in my life who didn't view my type of personal time as spare storage for other people's chaotic lives. As I explained the drama from the barbecue, Ethan looked at me with intense seriousness. "Alina, this isn't a family dynamic," he said. "This is absolute ownership." While we were talking, my mother sent a text that read, "Come to the house immediately. We need to correct your attitude before this behavior ruins your brother's celebration." Ethan advised me to stay away, warning me that toxic people don't want a discussion. They want absolute surrender. But a naive part of me still believed that clear.com communication would work. I drove to my parents' house, hoping to settle it like adults. When I walked into the kitchen, the staging was perfect. Martha was calmly fixing DOT. Leo was pretending to be busy on his phone, and Clara sat with perfectly damp eyes, looking like a victim in a tragic play. My father, Thomas, stood silently by the back door, acting as the quiet enforcer of their collective will. "Alina," my mother began, her voice dripping with artificial Softness. Leo slammed his hand down. Stop being so incredibly dramatic. Nobody is asking you to raise them permanently. Clara chimed in, just for the pregnancy and the first year. You know how exhausting a newborn is. You have the time. I stared at them, completely stunned. A year of my life is not a small favor, I said. Martha sighed heavily. You rent your place, you don't have a partner, and you have no kids. What exactly are you protecting so fiercely? That sentence exposed their entire mindset because my life didn't match their specific blueprint. They believed my time had absolutely zero value. I am protecting my sanity from being consumed by people who only call me family when they need free labor, I replied. The kitchen went deathly quiet. Right then, my phone rang with that unknown number. It was Officer Vance. He explained that Mia, Lucas, and Chloe had been left at the center, with a note bearing my name. I looked at Leo, whose jaw tightened instantly. Are those your niece and nephews? Miss Elena? Officer Vance asked through the speaker. Yes, I said, my voice shaking with a mix of rage and absolute clarity, but I never agreed to watch them today or any other day. Leo quickly hissed across the table. Don't make a scene, Elena, just go get them. I walked out of the house without saying another word to them. I drove straight to the municipal center. On the porch. Leo had tried to intercept me, whispering, keep the authorities out of family matters. I told him he brought the authorities into it the moment he dropped his kids off with a fraudulent note. The betrayal burned. My mind flashed back to all the weekends stolen from me just so Leo could live without any restrictions. When I walked into the center, the atmosphere felt incredibly grim. The receptionist guided me to a small back room. Mia was sitting at a low plastic table, clutching her younger sister Chloe, who was crying quietly. Lucas was staring blankly at a wall. The sheer cruelty of my family's plan hit me. They used these innocent children as bait, counting on my guilt to force compliance. The moment Mia saw me, she ran to hug my waist. Aunt Elena, Mommy, said you were waiting for us here, she sobbed. My heart broke for them, but I refused to tell a comforting lie. I'm here now, sweetie, and the officers are going to make sure you're safe, I told her gently. Officer Vance then pulled me aside and handed me a plastic folder containing the typed letter. The letter read, Alina is the designated guardian for the children today. She has no other family, obligations, or career conflicts. Their parents are handling a medical issue regarding a new pregnancy. Please direct all queries to Alina. It was signed with a forged copy of my signature. My family had officially crossed the line from manipulation into actual illegal fraud. Did you sign this document? Miss Elena, Officer Vance asked, watching my face closely. No, this is a forgery, I said firmly. I unlocked my phone and showed him the timeline of text. Messages from the previous night my explicit refusal, followed by their threats. The officer's polite demeanor turned serious as he realized my family had actively deceived the facility staff. He explained that because the children were left near a side entrance without a proper adult check-in or valid emergency forms, this was being treated as a serious abandonment inquiry. If you do not take them, we must contact Child Protective Services to handle emergency placement, he warned. I looked at the kids. This was the trap. My family wanted me to feel like a monster. Call their parents, I said, keeping my voice entirely stable. I will stay here until they arrive, so the children aren't scared, but I will not sign intake forms, and I will not take them to my home. Officer Vance nodded, respecting my stance, while he went to make the calls. I used my phone to take clear photos of the forged note and the facility's official intake log. Leo arrived 20 minutes later, his face twisted in defensive anger. Clara followed, holding her stomach dramatically to emphasize her pregnancy, while my mother, Martha, walked in looking like a prestigious matriarch who was above the law. My father stayed in the vehicle outside, refusing to witness the direct consequences of the silence he always used as permission. "This is just a ridiculous communication mix-up," Leo announced loudly as he entered the room. "Officer," Vance cut him off immediately. "Sir, forging a signature and leaving minors at a facility doorway is not a mixed up. It is a matter for the state." Clara turned to me, her voice trembling with anger. "Are you seriously doing this to us, Alina, in front of the police? You did this to yourselves when you used my name to abandon your own children," I said coldly. Martha stepped forward, using her soft, manipulative, motherly tone. "Alina, sweetheart, think of your family reputation. Leo and Clara are under so much stress with the new baby." I looked at her. "Then they should have thought about that before fabricating a legal document." Officer Vance asked directly who wrote the note. Nobody answered. Then he looked at the typed signature. "A fraud investigation can be opened if Miss Alina wishes to press charges," he stated. Leo's face lost all its color. He looked at me, his eyes pleading for the first time in his life. The toxic power dynamic that had ruled my entire life was completely shattering. "I want an official incident report filed," I told the officer, "and I want it formally stated that I am never to be listed as a guardian or emergency contact for this family without a notarized agreement." Double quotes. Martha gasped, holding her chest. "You are completely heartless, Alina. You're destroying this family." But her words no longer had any power over me. The meeting ended with Leo and Clara being forced. The facility director informed them that their access privileges were suspended, and an automated report would be forwarded to Child Welfare Services due to the side door drop-off reel. Unescapable consequences had finally entered their protected world. As we walked out into the parking lot, my father finally stepped out of the car. He looked at me with deep disappointment. "You took this way too far, Alina. Family handles things internally." I looked at him, feeling a wave of sadness for the child in me who had waited decades for him to protect her. "No, Dad, you just hate that. You can't force me to obey anymore." I drove away with the windows down, feeling a strange, intoxicating sense of freedom. By the time I reached my apartment, my phone was melting from the onslaught. There were 25 missed calls and dozens of furious texts from extended aunts and cousins. My mother left a bitter voicemail. "I hope your spiteful pride is worth the absolute chaos you've caused." Instead of replying with anger, I chose precision. I sat at my desk, opened my laptop, and drafted a formal, legally tight email. I detailed the entire event, attached the photos of the forged note, the text message, evidence of my explicit refusal, and the case number provided by Officer Vance. I sent it to Leo, Clara, my parents, and blind copied my lawyer. 2 days later, my cousin sent me a screenshot from a massive family group chat that I had muted months ago. Leo had posted a long paragraph claiming I had suffered a mental breakdown, agreed to help with the kids, and then abandoned them at a center out of bitter jealousy over their big pregnancy. The extended family was chiming in calling my actions a total disgrace. The old version of me would have cried and tried to defend herself to people who didn't care about the truth. The current version of me simply unmuted the dot group chat. I typed one sentence for anyone interested in the actual facts. Here is the official documentation. Then, I uploaded the image of dot, the typed note showing my mother's specific dot phrasing, and the forged signature. For 15 beautiful minutes, then, dot, one by one, distant relatives began deleting their dot hateful comments. An aunt privately messaged me completely. Shocked by the forgery, my mother tried calling me 5 times in a row, but I let it ring. I was no longer providing an audience for her curated guilt trips. But the fallout didn't stop with the family chat. Because the municipal center filed an official incident report. Child welfare services opened a routine inquiry into Leo and Clara's home environment. Suddenly, the public image my mother had spent her whole life building began to crack. Neighbors started asking quiet, uncomfortable questions about why the police were involved. Leo texted me, his tone switching from aggressive demands to desperate, begging, "Please call the caseworker and tell them." "It was just a joke, Elena. Clara's stress is affecting the pregnancy," I replied. "With total clarity, I will not lie to federal investigators to cover up your fraud. Speak to your legal counsel and stop contacting my phone." The formal review took place the following week at the district office. Ethan came with me, sitting quietly by my side. As a witness, my parents arrived with Leo and Clara, and Martha brought a thick binder filled with childhood photos of me holding Mia and Lucas, as if showing past affection somehow proved I had consented to become their permanent, lifelong nanny. The child welfare caseworker, a serious woman named Renee, reviewed the binder politely before sliding it away past family. Assistance does not establish legal consent for emergency drop-offs, she stated coldly. She then looked at Leo and Clara. "Your actions compromised the safety of minors. You are required to complete a mandatory parenting responsibility course." The state official also ordered them to provide a verified childcare plan that didn't include my name. When Leo angrily muttered that I was ruining his life, I looked him in the eye. "I didn't write that note, Leo, you did. You chose to risk your own children's safety just to avoid paying for real care." For once, he had absolutely no comeback left to use. After the legal meeting concluded, Clara stopped me near the elevators. Her face looked exhausted, stripped of all its usual theatrical arrogance. "Leo said you would always cave," she whispered softly, "and Martha told me you didn't have any real purpose in your life anyway." I felt a sting of old pain, but it vanished instantly, replaced by absolute strength. "I always had a purpose, Clara," I told her calmly. "You all just chose to treat my boundaries like an insult." She didn't offer a fake apology, but she didn't defend Leo either. It was the first genuine interaction we had ever shared outside. My mother was waiting by my car. "You've become so cold, Elena," she said bitterly. "No, Mom," I replied. "I just stopped enabling you." The next few months brought massive shifts, deprived of my free labor and under state scrutiny. Leo and Clara actually had to budget for professional childcare. The high cost forced Leo to cancel his expensive club memberships, and Clara had to sell her designer items to pay for it. My mother's reputation as the perfect matriarch was permanently altered among our relatives. 6 months later, Clara gave birth to a healthy baby boy. Leo sent me a single text message with a picture of the newborn, but no manipulative caption. I looked at the innocent face, feeling a complex mix of love and grief. I text back, "He is beautiful, Congratulations. I am happy to visit as his aunt, but please remember, I am completely unavailable for childcare. It took him 2 full days to reply with a single word. Understood. It wasn't a grand apology, but it was a solid, unbreakable border. When I visited the following Sunday, the house was a chaotic mess of laundry and dishes. My mother was holding the baby, but instead of ordering me around, she hesitated and asked quietly, "Would you like to hold him, Alina?" That single word, asking, instead of demanding proved that the old dynamic was dead. I held the small baby, feeling completely peaceful. A year after the incident, I moved into a beautiful condo I bought entirely on my own. On my first evening there, sitting among half-packed boxers, I pulled up the digital folder labeled Family, Boundary Documentation. I didn't feel a single ounce of bitterness anymore. I just felt immense gratitude for the woman who had been terrified but stood her ground anyway. If you are the single one, the childless one, or the quiet one in your family, remember this clearly: your life is not spare time for other people's emergencies, and your love does not equal automatic consent.